Yesterday, the lion of Asia. Today, the tiger of Asia. Japan, the world's third largest economy, is one of the most credible donors that the world can count on. The new Japanese government of Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is embarked on the project of redefining Asian politics to make sure that at least she comes back on the global stage as Asia's first economic power. For that to be done, there must be need for public diplomacy at work at the highest level. So, as Asia gets into a new redefinition of geopolitics with the Tokyo International Conference on African Development taking place in Yaoundé, how far is it possible to reconstruct the samurai empire in the 21st century with Mikados ready to make Japan one of the most powerful nations in the world? Koichi Mizushima, welcome to Globewatch.
My pleasure.
The International Comparison Program believes that by August this year, India will replace Japan as the world's third largest economy, and Japan will move to the fourth position. Is the Japanese model still a force to reckon with today?
Well, you know, the Japan has been the second largest economy until recently, and now it's still the third largest economy. And the Prime Minister Abe and his administration has been making every effort to revitalize the Japanese economy by introducing so-called Abenomics. And as a matter of fact, some of the results has been seen positively, and we are confident that the Japanese economy will be coming back, and we will cooperate and contribute to the development of the world economy.
So you still believe in the vitality and importance of Japanese quality around the world? Is Japanese quality still in good hands?
Yes, yes, I do. As a matter of fact, the Japan has lots of leading companies in technology or the automobiles and home appliances, and not only in those fields, but in every field. The Japanese economies and Japanese companies are making every effort to revive and revitalize from the decades-long deflation. And the Prime Minister Abe's administration's policies, so-called Abenomics, has really put the energy in their efforts.
I like the way you defend your country. One trademark of Japanese image globally is quality products. But of recent, Japanese quality has been questioned. For example, last month, the world's largest car maker, a Japanese company, Toyota, announced she was recalling 6 million vehicles globally due to deficiencies in the design. Willy-nilly, this is substantial evidence that the roses are withering for Japan.
Well, I'm not going to make any comment on the private sector's individual incidents, but there may be some cases, as you mentioned, for every country, every company, but the issue is that the how to respond to any problems that if they may face with, and I think the Japanese companies have been proud of responding properly to any problem that they face with.
Okay, globally, for Japan to reset geopolitics, she needs an aggressive international diplomacy. I don't mean a war-like diplomacy. Of what value are fora like Tokyo International Conference for African Development to the success of that mission?
Well, by the way, did you use the term aggressive? And but the Japanese government's policy, of administration's policy, is the so-called proactive contribution to peace, based on the international cooperation based on the principle of international cooperation. That means Japan has a history since the end of the World War II, for 69 years to be the pacifist country and to contribute to the world
After
peace.
all, whatsoever you do on earth is constantly dictated by the Second World War memories.
Yeah, but after the end of the World War II, Japan has been a country which loves the peace and which contributes to the peace, stability, and prosperity of not only in the Asia region but also in the world. And we are determined to more proactively contribute to peace in the world. And this TICAD process that you asked me, that this was started back in 1993, 20 years ago. And back then, the Cold War ended, and many of the so-called donor countries lost interest in Africa. But we did believe that the relationship with Africa and the development of Africa was very much important for the development of the world. So then we decided to launch this TICAD process. And since then, 20 years, for 20 years, we have developed a very good relationship with Africa, and our position is that we work with African friends to make the development realized in Africa.
Roughly a year ago, resource-poor Japan pledged Africa a $32 billion package in investment in public and private spending, spanning 5 years. Over 14 billion for official development and about 6 billion for infrastructural development. Has that money already been dished out?
No, not really. That's a plan for 5 years. And the TICAD 5 conference was held last year. And so that amount that the Japanese government pledged was expected to be dispersed for the 5 years. And actually, this ministerial conference, which just ended.
Yes, the first ministerial follow-up meeting in Yaoundé. So why has the money not been disbursed? Well, or it is a gradual process, you mean to tell me?
But just, what we did in this ministerial conference was to make matrix and endorse the matrix. And within the matrix, all the international partners, including Japan, put the inputs in the projects. And then we are going to monitor with the African friends.
So when would the money be coming?
Money has already come, part of it, and the Japanese disbursement.
How much has already come?
Japanese disbursement of the last year was $3.51 billion for official development assistance, and also the $2.08 billion from other sources, and which amounts to about 1/4 quarter of the commitment that the Japanese government did last year at the TICAD 5 meeting. So as I said, that the commitment was for 5 years.
Do you have target countries and target projects which you are sponsoring?
Well, the individual projects will be implemented in consultation with individual government.
Which are the key areas of interest from the Japanese perspective?
Well, in a TICAD, there are 6 pillars, and this time that we discussed 1, agriculture, and the food and nutrition security, and 2, post-2015 development agenda, and 3, the empowerment of women and youth. So those are not the only areas that the Japanese government will put money into, but we are going to help the development of African countries depending on the needs of the individual countries, and also we will make we will cooperate with the international organization like African Development Bank to finance all the efforts of the individual African countries.
Which are the key regions of interest?
Well,
which countries need help more from the Japanese perspective?
No. I mean, as I said, that the individual country has a different needs, but I feel, and the Japanese government feels, that the difference in the mood of today in African countries compared to the 20 years ago when TICAD process started. And what the difference is, the expectation for the trade and investment from Japan and the other parts of the world to Africa. Before, maybe they expected more offshore development assistance. But these days, of course, with offshore development assistance, but also the trade and investment, so-called private business relations will be more expected. And that's what we really feel.
Okay. The geostrategic calculus of the new Japanese policy on Africa is to replace China as a two Asian giants battle for leadership. In 2011, Japanese direct investment in Africa totaled $460 million. These are statistics from the Japanese government, compared with China's $3.17 billion. You are fighting a war even if you are to win some battles. This is a war you have lost.
Well, we are not fighting battle with any country. As I said, we have started this TICAD process 20 years ago, and we are...
Because if I look at the geopolitical sharing, EU-Africa Summit, India-Africa Summit, China-Africa Summit, Japan-Africa Summit, it means that everybody has a geostrategic something to get from Africa, which can either be economic, which can be political, which can be energy or security. So why is Japan so interested in Africa?
As I said, the 20 years ago when the TICAD process started, the almost other countries lost interest in Africa. But we believed that without the development of Africa, there will be no development for the world. So we decided to launch this process, and this is not like a one-way process. And the principle of the TICAD process has been the ownership of the African countries and partnership of the international society. We have held this principle for 20 years. And I think that kind of principle is working now. And I just go back to your question about the Japanese investment in Africa. The Japanese business circle started to show interest in Africa. And then, so they're showing interest, and they are sending some missions to find the place where they can invest, where they can work together. But on the other hand, it is important for African side to prepare the environment, investment environment, to attract.
And to prepare that, what do they need to do?
Well, the one, infrastructure, and two, the labor force with the educated labor force, and three, I think this is most important, I guess, is peace and stability. And of course, and another thing is, which is needed is the legal structure, which is transparent to the business cycle.
Okay, so what have you guys concluded in Yaoundé?
Okay, I think this ministerial conference, we would like to express our heartfelt appreciation to the government and the people.
That is normal for any diplomat.
Well, but we really feel the hospitality and conference was
But surely it's not part of the
successfully
conclusions
managed.
which are going
Yes.
to redefine
And
Chinese-African relations.
No. I mean, then all the ministers and the other participants endorsed the matrix of the cooperation.
What is really in that matrix?
As I said, the matrix has all the planned implementation projects.
I just need one key element which affects the ordinary man on the street.
Well, I cannot give you only one. Just as I said, there are several sectors.
Benchmarks and sectors.
Well, agriculture or the
education,
alleviation of poverty, education, human resources development, and peace and stability, or empowerment, women, youth, and so on. So a wide range of issues, all of which are indispensable for the development of African countries. And in what is important here is that after 1 year of the TICAD 5 meeting, which was held in Yokohama, the ministers and the other participants gathered in Cameroon to follow up the conclusion of the TICAD 5. And we endorsed that matrix, and we will continue to monitor what we promised to
so when next will you be meeting, and what will you be discussing next?
The next year, we are going to have another ministerial meeting to follow up.
Where?
It's not decided yet.
Okay. Let's pick an African nation to explicitly expose the impact of Japanese assistance. I propose 3 countries to you: Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, and Mozambique. Which country are you comfortable to discuss Japanese assistance there?
Well, I don't point one of those countries.
Okay, let me select one, and that is Cameroon.